Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel.
What's up?
Got Avi here in the driver's seat today. We're switching things up, mix it up. You know, it's always good to get out of the routines. So we got Avi in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat, shotgun. Missing Brahmi again. We miss you, Brahmi, but I know you'll be with us probably next week. And if you're new to the channel, you've stumbled upon one of the probably most fun you could have in a real estate channel on YouTube, where we throw you in the car with us and take you on broker caravan tour. We're out and about in the beautiful city of Santa Barbara today. We're going to be making our way over to the Mesa, and then we're going to take you over to the Upper East Side, and finally we're going to go up into Mission Canyon, the foothills above San Roque. So an amazing tour hitting on 3 totally different neighborhoods in Santa Barbara. So if you're curious about Santa Barbara, or if you already live here and you want to know more about your city, this is the channel for you. Definitely subscribe and sit tight, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, because we're going to take you on an amazing tour where we're going to drive through town. Right now we're on Las Positas, going through Hidden Valley, making our way over by to Henry's Beach, Santa Barbara's Dog Beach, and then we're going to make our way downtown. So this is the nature of the video, getting to know the community by driving through from house to house with us, and then I'll take you on a tour of each of these homes we're going to preview today, these new listings that have recently hit the market and are for sale right now. These are properties you can buy if you're interested.
And we're driving by the Las Positas bike path, which took years to complete, and if you've never rode on it on an e-bike or just walked it or skateboard, I highly recommend it. It's super smooth, wide lanes, there's stop signs, so it's really safe in between every crossing, and it takes you all the way to the beach, and it's a really fun, scenic, beautiful bike ride. Highly recommend doing it. The city put in a lot of money to make it happen so that all of us could enjoy it for free, and yeah, it's one of the most beautiful bike paths, I would say, in SB. That's also really safe. Right along Las Positas, you get to look at the backside of Ellings Park. So much greenery. How cool is it to be in a city where you can kind of get out of all the hustle and bustle, which we don't even have that much compared to a lot of other cities, but be in a place that's basically complete nature on 360 degrees. So definitely try this bike path out.
Yeah, the biking in Santa Barbara is second to none. They've really invested in these bike paths like Avi was talking about. And just over here on the other side of the bike path, Ellings Park, which he mentioned, has amazing mountain bike trails through it. So that's free for the community to go ride your bike in there and go off-road and ride your mountain bike through the trails. So you don't have to go back up into our backcountry, but you can. You could also ride your mountain bike up in the mountains in the national forest back there. But this is a great way to get some climbing, get some bombing down some hills, and ride some track. They have some great single track too. I've seen people just driving, you could see them cruising along the edge over there. So tons of biking, whether or not you're a road biker or a mountain biker, you got lots of options. The city's taking care of the bikers. They really want to promote biking, and that's why they're investing in that bike path. And they're going to do the final extension of it. And ultimately the goal is to get you off the road so that you could go all the way through Santa Barbara, Goleta, and the beaches without having to spend too much time sharing the road with a car on your bike.
If you would have gone right at that roundabout as well, you'd get to Henry's Beach. There's a great restaurant that's right on, basically on the sand, the boathouse. But we went left, so we're cruising up Cliff Drive, and we're basically in the West Mesa, the Monroe School District, which we're passing by Monroe School here on the left. And we're going to be going up on the left side, which means that we're going not in the coastal zone. So for those of you who are interested in an Airbnb property, if you were to buy a house on my right, which is to the ocean side of Cliff, you are allowed, if you get the permit, to Airbnb there. But if you are on the other side of Cliff, the mountain side, you're not. So that definitely affects values and affects the buyer type. But let's say you want to live in a neighborhood that doesn't have any Airbnb homes, this would be a great neighborhood for you if you still want to be close to the beach.
Yeah, for sure. And this first house we're going to see is located at 734 Westwood Drive here on the Mesa. Now this is slightly elevated, so you get a lot of these homes up here are going to be producing some views. So I'm excited to see what that's producing from this property. It is a remodeled home. It sold last in the year 2022, so just about 3 years ago, for $1,959,000. It was actually on the market for 10 days, listed for $1,009,000. So they got multiple offers maybe, or they at least got almost $60,000 over asking, and did a ton of work. Looks like they remodeled the inside, added an ADU and a pool. I know someone on here has been commenting a lot. We've been on a streak of no pool homes, so we'll start off today with a nice pool home. So that'll be nice to see. But Let's see what they've got on this one. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 2,200 square feet, including that ADU. And the list price is $3,995,000. So they've attempted to create the resort-style living experience on this one, where it's going to be laid out on a single level, lots of indoor-outdoor flow, and of course that pool and that guest house. You might have a hard time getting rid of your guests if you're putting them up in a place like this next to the pool. So looks like solar and some brick pavers in the driveway. Really, really pretty place here, and this is listed for $3,995,000 and just hit the market. So let's go through and see what they did with this one. Okay, a little street view setup on this one. Nice big driveway with the brick paver. I like how they have some extra parking. What's really nice, I'm already digging about this one, is that they kept the garage and you got an ADU. So often you're faced with losing your garage to get that ADU, and they have the best of both worlds. They have the best of all worlds because they have off-street parking, lots of it, 1, 2, 3 spots plus the garage. So that's really a bonus. There we go. Entering in this nice, slick room. Okay, you're drawn right to this entertaining area that looks out to the pool. Super sweet. Very much like a resort feel. Really nice detail in the fireplace there, adding that vertical textured marble tile. Beautiful windows. Here we are, the kitchen. Nice big island. We've got some beautiful solid surface stone. Looks like a type of Caesar stone. Big 6-burner stove. Lots of light coming in, and they put in these really nice kind of Hunter Douglas window treatments on this slider with recessed sound. A really great window looking out at the ocean view from the sink. Always nice for anyone doing dishes.
You get islands out there and ocean. It's just a little foggy today.
A little foggy, but yeah, you're definitely going to see on the crisp day, those islands will make it pop for sure. We'll go look outside, but first inside. It's our laundry room. Okay, look at this bathroom. Nice light fixture. It's got that kind of bubble glass. Little bedroom across the hall. More recessed speakers. Big window. It's the primary suite. Great access out to the pool. I love how you could hear that waterfall feature they have. Really great. I love having that water sound outside kind of as a backdrop. Look at this primary bath. Great mirror with the light behind it. Really nice stone choice and wood color, the tone, nice and neutral. Big tub. And this bedroom has enough room for a little office section here. And then a big walk-in closet. Real nice. Okay, now let's go see what they did to this outside. Okay, there's the ADU. This is brand new build. Nice, comfortable living area and kitchen. You could even see the ocean through the main house and through the main house window. There's a beautiful kitchen. We got the barn door to separate this room from the living area, and then plenty of indoor-outdoor flow even in this unit, which is a part of the main house as well. That indoor-outdoor flow, they really captured that resort-style living. What a cute little washer and dryer setup. I've never seen anything like that. Okay, big deck here, covered, so you get some shade. They got more of that brick pavers going all the way through. Beautiful pool with a little lounging area, waterfall, jacuzzi. And then here's your yard space. So you still got a little room carved out for grass, dog, kids playing. Checking all the boxes, full solar on the roof. Plenty of places to get in the shade. Wow, what do you think? Did you pay $4 million for this? All right, everyone, coming off of the Westwood Mesa Hill here. What'd you think, Avi?
That one was really nicely renovated. We were talking about how it seemed like it was a higher step in quality than a flip. Did really great work, and I heard the agent talking about not only did they do all the cosmetics and the aesthetics, they did sewer lateral, electrical, all the systems as well. So that's a great option for someone just looking to move in, bring a toothbrush. Obviously having a guest house and ADU in that neighborhood as well is a big plus. But one thing to know is, you know, some of the neighbors on either side had beautiful houses, and some of the neighbors had very original houses. That's how parts of the Mesa can be. It can be a big mix of house types.
Yeah, I think that you find that across all of Santa Barbara, all the South Coast, really. I mean, even when we're in Montecito, you've got these amazing estates, and then you could have a really nice big house, but it's kind of been deferred, and you know, and even some funky like little places, a throwback to when, you know, before Montecito became what it is today. So we do find that kind of eclectic mix of nice and funky next door to each other. But I thought that they did a great job. It was like the efficient use of space was really incredible. It checked so many boxes for people being a single level home. It had plenty of off-street parking, including the 2-car garage and 3 spaces and places to maneuver your cars around in that parking area. Plus the ADU, I kind of hinted that at the beginning of the video that I was impressed to see the ADU, and still having an existing garage is a nice plus. You see that often eliminated. And
pool, hot tub, kind of like all the fixings, especially for a Mesa house, man.
Even they carved out a little bit of grass area for your dog and the kids to play around, you know.
Outdoor shower.
Yeah, so, wow, I think that is a prime example of the types of properties in this market that will still show that the market has energy in it, that there's still some demand and willingness to throw big prices at good properties. Our market is definitely transitioning. There's been a little bit of slowdown. You could definitely track some properties that have resold for less than what they sold for a couple years ago. So that's an indicator of values coming down. And then you get properties like that a good chance it's going to get its price, if not better. And if that happens, that's kind of shows up loudly in the marketplace. People talk about it. So that's what we hear about. And it keeps this perception of a market that's still on fire like it was in COVID, which really isn't the case anymore. That's why it's really important to get plugged in with professionals to understand the dynamics of the market, where the opportunities are, where are you still going to probably be paying a premium if that's what you want to purchase, and understand what that looks like.
Yeah, and I just have to say there's confirmation bias always, but especially in this marketplace, the people selling their house, they're hearing the stories of their neighbors or friends who are getting multiple offers. And then the people looking to buy a house, they're hearing all the stories that, you know, prices are down, days on market are up, there's all this negotiating room. And even though both are happening at the same time, both are true, it's not just one or the other. And it's definitely, we're seeing a little bit more. I think 53% in the last month of homes sold below their listed value, while still a solid chunk sold above. You know, understanding that there's bias in place, because you might hear every person on your street who's, if you're thinking of selling, saying, oh, everything's going above asking. You know, having actual understanding of the whole marketplace as a whole is going to help you make a good decision.
Yeah, it really will. And for example, you know, and little lay of the land, because part of these videos, the value of them for you guys who are watching, is to get to know the community. So we came off of the Mesa over Carrillo Hill, and we turned through what is known as the West Side. This is one of Santa Barbara's starter neighborhoods. Really cute, charming little bungalows, cottages, a lot of craftsman style, a lot of little Spanish style. And this is where you could get into a home for low millions, and really kind of get your first maybe starter home in Santa Barbara in a neighborhood like this. And on the east side, we talk about the west side, the east side, and all the different neighborhoods on this channel in different videos. So if you want to explore more what the entry level looks like, check out the west side, look at our videos about the west side and the east side. Those are kind of our entry level spots. And right now we're kind of in the commercial downtown of the west side, where San Andreas meets Mitchell Terrena. This little hub right here, this intersection, is kind of the central of downtown west side, where you got some restaurants, grocery stores, you know, hardware store over here is really great. Kuka's is amazing. But we're gonna head over the 101 freeway, and we're making our way towards the upper east side. And what Avi was talking about, the confirmation bias and pricing and how important it is really important, because we're about to go see 115 East Pedregosa. This is built in 1913, and it sold just last year in March of 2024 for $2,850,000. Now, they started at $3,295,000, and it took them 158 days to sell, and they sold for 2.850. So that's a great indicator right there. That kind of shows, like, when you miss the price, if you're listening to, let's say, neighbors and stuff, and trying to figure out what your value is, and not so much to the professionals you've hired to get advice from, that could steer you wrong to get a situation like this, where you miss your price and it could take 158 days to sell. And if you think about what that property is costing you on a monthly basis to own, that you're missing out on because you're continuing to spend that money, and also how a property devaluates when it sits on the market, the perception of value goes down as it sits on the market. So had this property maybe been listed at $2,995,000 when it first hit the market, good chances maybe it sells for full price, and instead it took 158 days and sold for $2,850,000. So just a little scenario on what it's like to miss your price point and how it can cost you money.
And people don't, I think, when they're selling a house, realize how buyers are looking at days on market. And a lot of times, if they've seen a house with 100 days on market, let's say they're coming to Santa Barbara and they want to check out 10 properties or however many properties they have time to see, they'll see a house that might check some of their boxes, but they'll be like, oh, it's had 100 days on market. Everybody else has passed up on it. There must be something wrong with it. So days on market is a huge indicator to how much, traction and value you're able to provide. So sometimes people say, okay, well, let's shoot for that crazy price, that unrealistic price, but just in case we get it, and then we'll just take it down to the normal price after 60 days, 100 days, whatever. But there's actually a major value decrease that happens after you leave the home on the market for that long.
Yeah, and it's hard to quantify exactly, but we all know it exists, and as buyers, you feel it too. I mean, you kind of wonder what's going on with that one. And we just had some buyers get a great opportunity, I think, on something that the market was passing up, but it seemed to be priced right, and it took the seller a little while to get realistic. But nonetheless, they did come down in price, and they were able to get what I think is a really good value. So we're going to go to this next one on Pedregosa, 115 East Pedregosa. Like I said, it sold just last year, so they have done some renovation. Quite often we see in these videos homes that have sold in the last 3 years coming up for sale again. And oftentimes they've been updated. So that's the story behind this one. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. The square footage is about 2,736 square feet. It's on a almost a 1/4 acre lot, and the Upper East Side is a real classic neighborhood of these older homes built in the turn of the century. This is where the wealthy lived in the Santa Barbara area before Montecito and Hope Ranch. And you could see that by these old estates, these historic estates, imagining what they were like when there was a lot less development around them. They were some of the first to be developed, sprawling out from the Mission and we're not too far from the Mission in this neighborhood. Very walkable to that Mission Rose Garden, and so that was kind of the, I think, preface of this becoming kind of an affluent neighborhood. Is you had the Mission, and then you had some homes being built kind of sprawling away from the Mission, and that's what the history of this neighborhood, part of it, entails.
And I love how a lot of the owners in these properties, even though they buy these properties that are very dated, they want to update it, they oftentimes renovate, holding on to some of that charm, maybe reusing some of the old fixtures or tiles or door hinges or this and that. We'll see if this one does that. Sometimes they hold the glass. Is it this one?
It is that one.
Okay, cool. But I like how it keeps the charm, but also you can obviously update it and make it safe and healthy to live in.
All right, let's go see what's going on. I did not see an open house sign. All right, street view on this one. Nice front yard with some grass. Beautiful sidewalk. Walk into town. You can be in downtown in about 10 minutes if you're walking. And look at the neighbors. These old big historic homes. Some beautiful big sandstone walls. I like how they have this concrete strips with the grass in the middle. Super sweet. All right, let's go see how this one's looking inside. All right, here we go. Nice covered porch area to enter into. All right, immediately to the right, you have this beautiful light-filled living room. Nice wood-burning fireplace. A lot of original molding details, and they brought out some beautiful color in the wood floors, stained them. This darker kind of almost ebony finish. Beautiful built-ins, recessed lighting. So a little great mix of modernization and old world character from its original origins of 1913. Here's this dining room. Talk about modernization. They popped in this human lift right here, like a little retrofitted elevator. And then you got the French doors, bringing in that indoor-outdoor vibe. That's really interesting, having that lift in the living room here, or the dining room. Okay, let's keep going. Looks like one of our powder rooms. Cute little corner sink, toilet. I like the black and white tile. Crystal knobs on the door, always good. Okay, kitchen with dining, plus a bar. Beautiful. Big island, big square island. So we got some treats here today on offer. Stainless steel sink, wood-cladded fridge and appliances, so everything blends in seamlessly. Laundry room. And then here's a bathroom plus storage in that shower. That's funny. Okay. Now let's go.
Yeah, they have those shops in the closet. Do you know where those doors are from?
Yeah, they got some seagrass kind of carpeting. Actually, it's not seagrass. All right, let's see. Let's start with the right. Ooh, I am feeling AC up here. Oh, there's the top of the human lift. This looks like our primary. Closet over here. Then bathroom on this side of the room. I'm not picking up many views. I thought maybe you could get a peek from the ocean. Some of these homes on the Upper East Side do get a little peek of the ocean. It's low level, but it is nice to see. But lots of treetop views. Kind of know what the neighborhood vibe's looking like. Now, let's see what these other bedrooms are looking like. Okay, I like the size of this one. It's a queen bed and there's plenty of room on all sides. Looking out to the gigantic birds of paradise through the windows. That's a nice view. Another bathroom. Big tub, shower, some marble tile. Another big bedroom. This was a little bit bigger. And one more. Office. Go check out that yard and detached garage. All right, let's go outside. All right, let's go down this driveway, see what's on offer. This garage has got something above it. Nice deck. Okay, I think it's just storage up there because this is all open. And those are the steps right back there. This is cool, vibey. 1913 vibes, okay. Yep, that's the loft room. All right, let's go see. I think there was also some side yard that you accessed off of the dining room. But I see a jacuzzi there. Nice wood deck, a little bit of a grassy area with a lemon tree, got the jacuzzi, some more of that wood decking. And that's it. All right, I think we've seen it. It's that dining room. Okay, that was pretty cool, huh?
That one was really nicely well done. You know, thinking about how much they've increased the price by, the agent was explaining that they spent $2 million on that property, not just all the aesthetics, great tile work, really nice, you know, finishes, but they did new sewer lateral, $300,000 in foundation, electrical, they put in plumbing, air conditioning, all the things.
That human lift, you see that little tube?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Throw yourself upstairs.
It's very tight. But
yeah, it's an interesting, I mean, that's a great solution, like a quick, more affordable solution for an elevator in your home. Aesthetically, it's kind of intrusive.
For sure.
But it does, practicality, it's very practical.
Yeah, if you have someone in the family who wants to be upstairs who can't use the stairs,
yeah,
it's definitely a good option to have.
Deliver you right there. But yeah, they definitely threw some money at that one. I think at the square footage feels a little small.
And they're right under $5 million.
Yeah.
And so basically they're just trying to, it sounds like, break, if they spent almost $3 million, put $2 million into it, they're basically just trying to break even, if that's really the number they spent.
Yeah, after costs and everything, it could be just a little bit of profit for them. So we shall see. That's definitely one of my favorite neighborhoods, though. I love the Upper East Side. I've got a great video about living on the Upper East Side and the benefits of it and why it's a really great neighborhood. So you can check that out if you want. It's in the playlist Living in Santa Barbara on this channel here. And
I know Joe's very humble about it, but he is the most subscribed real estate channel in Santa Barbara. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers for Joe. So if you're loving the content, watching the other videos, a subscribe would help us get there. Yes, thank you, Avi. All right, so I'm excited to see this next one listed at a price of $6,995,000. So basically a $7 million price on it. And this is in the foothills above the San Roque neighborhood. It's actually, the address is 1545 San Roque Road. Now this sold in 2022. So again, just another property that sold just a few years ago for $3,445,000. It was listed for a total of 8 days at that time. And
the buyer was able to negotiate $50,000 off the price. So this wasn't one of those sales where the buyers had to do multiple offers and pay over asking. They actually let it sit on the market for a few days, couple days, or they were able to negotiate. So just a little back history on this one. And today they're asking for $7 million. Now they had it on the market previously with a different agent at the beginning of this year for about 70 days for $7.5 million, just under $7.5 million. So they're regrouping. They relisted it with another agent for a lower price, and are testing their luck with some fresh marketing. What do you think of that strategy when you relist at a lower price with a new agent?
I mean, we've helped certain clients that have relisted with us, and oftentimes we redo the marketing, bring it on for a new vibe, and oftentimes also reduce the price. And I think that after a certain amount of days on market, both the sellers and the agent, they can kind of get frustrated and upset with each other. And sometimes it is the best course of action if, you know, the relationship has kind of been strained to try somebody else or to go a different direction. Not always. Oftentimes if people have a really close relationship with their agent, maybe they bought the house with them and worked with them a lot of times, they'll like take it off the market, bring it back later on a new price with the same agent. But it's actually, I feel like, kind of common that if they've really had no activity and haven't been the right fit, that another agent will bring it on. Yeah,
they wanted just a whole fresh start. And I guess a lot of it is like, who was dictating the price? Sometimes the listing agent is like, this is the price, you can get this is what you need to list for. And the seller's like, okay, if you say so. But deep down, the seller's like, I think that's too high, you know? But of course, the seller's like, hey, you're the professional. If you think I could get that, then I trust you. If that's the situation, it's kind of obvious that if it didn't sell, that seller would want to go the other way. And on the flip side, sometimes it's the seller driving it like, you know, I see that it's only worth, you know, $7 million according to the data, but I want to list it for $7.5. And the agent does that. And then you can get in this dynamic where the agent's going, hey, we need to reduce the price. We need to reduce the price. And that's all the seller's hearing. And so then they just like, well, forget this. I'm going to start fresh and reduce the price. So, you know, there's a few different ways where you could get to this situation, but it is not uncommon in the business. And, you know, part of the reason why I think real estate professionals, when they are successful, make a big chunk of money oftentimes is because there's so many times that you work where you're unsuccessful. You know, you're spending money and time on getting a deal done that never happens because, you know, after it expires because it didn't sell, the agent says, thanks, I'm going to go in another direction. Or the seller. So, you know, there's a lot of different dynamics in that. But one thing I wanted to bring up, because this one's at $7 million, if we were in Los Angeles, this would trigger what's known as the mansion tax. They've got this new transfer tax in LA, which is kind of, I think, hurting their market and driving more eyes and attention into our market. When you sell your property, I think it's between 4 and 5 million. It's about a 4.4% tax, additional tax you have to pay when you've sold your property. If it's over 5 million, it's a 5% tax that you have to pay. And this is causing all kinds of different little scenarios, like people are trying to price or sell just under that, or splitting up their ownership so that their portion of the ownership, you know, trying to get creative to avoid this, because all these properties that are right around that $5 million mark, it's almost like, okay, well, if I accept $5 million versus $4,999,000, it's going to be a difference of 0.6%. When you're talking about millions of dollars, that's quite a bit of money. So it's a really interesting dynamic playing out down there that's having an impact on our market.
For sure. And I think one thing that's very weird about it is how you're going to pay the tax regardless of, even if you lose money on the property. You know, most taxes are paid off of gains. Like you always are either going to pay capital gains or you can defer your gains. But, you know, just like when you sell a stock, if you sell a stock that you lost a bunch of money on, you're not going to have to pay any flat tax off the top. If you make money, you pay taxes. But this one, you know, let's say if you buy a property for $10 million and then the market's softened a little bit and you sell it for 9.5, you're losing $500,000 off the top, and you're having to come in with an additional, you know, 4 to 5% tax, which is pretty tough. And I can see a lot of people who, if maybe LA was on their list and Santa Barbara, Montecito was on their list, they would be like, you know what, if we're spending all this much money, we don't want to have a huge additional, we're already paying enough property taxes, enough income tax, we're not going to have this huge additional tax burden. Let's stick to Santa Barbara, Montecito.
Yeah, it's definitely factoring into the negotiations of properties that are listed down there, into the mindset of people that are looking to buy, because, I mean, it's not the buyers that are on the hook to pay the transfer fee. So they may not think much about it until they forward think and think, okay, well, in the future when we go to sell, we're going to have that fee. And I don't know if I want to get involved with that.
And I just feel like a lot of people are a little bit fed up where LA has this massive budget. A lot of it they're saying is going towards, helping the homeless, but it just seems like it hasn't been spent very efficiently. And the problem with homeless, not just for, the residents' safety, but for even their safety, it just seems like they're not using the funds very efficiently. I think a lot of people are fed up with the inefficiencies of Los Angeles, and that's why a lot of people we've helped recently are either thinking about Los Angeles and then picking here, or moving up completely from Los Angeles.
Yeah, getting out of that area and coming in this direction. And, they're attracted to less crowds, less congestion, less traffic, all these things.
Should I park right there? I think maybe up here.
You can get up a little bit further.
Closed.
But if you were paying attention during that little information about what we were telling you there, we wound our way up into the foothills. It's amazing how high you could climb behind some of these neighborhoods, but we're basically right above the San Roque neighborhood. And we're gonna go check out Casa Cama. This place has been remodeled into a Zen retreat. Full Zen master here living, it looks like. So let's go see what it looks like on the inside. We got a 4-bedroom, 5.5 bath, 3,558 square feet. There's a yurt. There's, let's see, built in 1998, and 2 acres. Let's go see it.
Cool.
All right, there's our street view. There's that reservoir we passed. I don't know if it's going to show up in the video, but if you look on a map, you can see it. And gated entry. This is pretty cool. They carved out a little extra parking zone right down there. Pretty unassuming, I gotta say, as you approach it. Not getting $7 million vibes just quite yet. But nice nonetheless. 2-car garage. Looks like some steps up here to get to the front door. There's a little area. Looks like a little shack. The Love Shack. Lots of yard to explore. Okay, the reason why this wasn't giving off $7 million vibes, because we were approaching the guest unit. This is the guest house with that garage underneath it. So that's pretty sweet. Look, they got the Venetian plaster on the walls. Nice exposed beams. Air conditioning. Clean cabinetry with solid surface countertops. Looks like they got kind of an epoxy finish on the floor. Might be like a polished concrete or something. But the Venetian plaster all around and even on the ceiling gives you a nice little kind of comfortable cocoon almost of living. Look at that bathroom. They really did a great job with the finishes. And then this bedroom here has got laundry, kind of a mirror of the other one with that laundry addition. All right, now that we saw the guest unit, a little reverse way of touring a property, we're gonna go see what the main residence is looking like. Casablanca. Let's go up here, past the rosemary. There we go. Starting to unfold here. Oh, look at this. Let's explore the land here first then. So we're here, big lawn, plenty of sun. Got some oak trees and shade over there. And then it looks like they got a little pavilion up there, maybe a Pilates pavilion. We'll go explore. Like how they have a front porch too downstairs here. Because today it's warm. We're in a long heat wave here in Santa Barbara. We've been in the 80s almost every day for a couple weeks. But this porch would be a great place to hang out to get a little reprieve from the heat.
So cool.
Is it? Nice. Love that fountain. Okay. Before we go inside, let me just get a quick peek of this patio area. Keep the outdoor tour alive. More shaded area over here too. Little dining area under the trees. So they're definitely attracting people like a retreat here. You could tell they've got signage out directing people to like where the gym is. That's what that pavilion is. And I'd be really curious to know what kind of events and stuff they've done here. Great spot for someone who wants to host people on a retreat, you know, weekly retreats or something. Oh, look at this entry. More of that Venetian plaster everywhere. Love that. Off to our left, living room. Plenty of gathering space for your guests. Beautiful fireplace. Look at they did like the zero trim windows. It's just plaster right up into the windows. Same around the fireplace. Look at there's no mantle. There's no stone wrapping. It's just Venetian plaster with a few little details. Good height in the ceiling. It's all muted, same color though. It's really kind of cool. Unique. We don't see this too often. All right, here's our kitchen. No cabinets up above, just the shelves. Drawers below. Big old wolf range. We've got a big slider stack there going out to the outdoor dining. We've got a big bar, wood-cladded appliances, and then here's the breakfast nook. You know, I love those. So sweet. All right, got the coffee machine in full effect. And then a couple steps up to this dining al fresco out here on the patio. Nice vault in this little family room bonus here. You get a little vista out towards the ocean from here through some trees. And then this staircase has got a cool little way to enter it. That flare out of steps to bring you through to this nice wide corridor. To the right, a couple rooms. More of the plaster, more of the exposed wood. And then a bathroom here attached. Got a nice finishes throughout. Kind of almost reminds me of Mexico, the way they did some of these finishes. Really nice high-end resort style properties in Mexico. Definitely leaning into the vacation vibe. Okay, here's another bigger room. I'm getting more vistas off this balcony out towards downtown and the harbor. You're going to pick up maybe some islands on a super clear day. That big tub. Whoa. Shower area, not even enclosed. Just let the water fly. Look at those two rain heads, some wands. Here we go, water closet, dual sinks. Okay. That's pretty sweet. And then let's go out here to the balcony. See if I could show you what that view was. See, that fog on the coast is crushing our view today. It's just a little pocket on my video, but in person it's actually decent. And that would be a window to look at ocean and islands through those trees. I'm back downstairs and I didn't show you the laundry room. So I thought I'd pop back on. And then I didn't show you, which is really cool, is this live edge trough sink in the powder room here. I'm gonna make my way out to the work pavilion, but that guy. Okay, that was probably confusing to bring you back on, but I went out the kitchen door to find this zone right here. So this is like the other side of that trough bathroom and laundry room. Outdoor tub. All right, let's find that workout pavilion right up here. Interesting, they just dropped this little glass house here. Locked. Okay, you have to look at the pictures to see that. Wow. This is roasting up here right now. There's some more gardens, raised gardens, shade. Interesting compound. I definitely say this qualifies as a compound. All right, coming off the hill. That's quite the retreat. Oh, there's the yurt right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the yurt, I think, still does exist on the property. I think that goes with the property. They
Another camper.
Oh yeah, there's another Airstream there too. So that property, everything we just saw there might also include that yurt and the Airstream. So if that's up your alley, give us a call. We'll definitely figure out what it all entails and what's been going on there. Because I was just talking to Avi, there's definitely been some kind of business being run out of that, some kind of retreat, Casa Calma. We'll have to do some searching and see what they're all about.
Meditation retreat would be cool, or health and wellness. It's very, we were saying that the renovation style is pretty unique to Santa Barbara. It's not Santa Barbara style. It's more like Tulum, Costa Rica, tropical, like unique kind of stucco, like that bathroom being completely wide open.
Yeah.
Definitely someone with a unique taste would love to live there.
They probably did a lot of retreats down there because those places like Tulum, big hot spots for like yoga retreats and things like that. And so
Totally.
Probably just was like, hey, I want to create this in the foothills of Santa Barbara.
Yeah. I wonder, being in this area, they're kind of asking almost a Montecito price, but not being a Montecito location. It'll be interesting to see if the new price, the new team, how long it will take for them to get done, because it's definitely no easy task to relaunch a property after it's been on the market for so long.
Yeah, and this location, you could tell we're pretty high up in the foothills. More of a limited buyer pool, I think, willing to get out of the beaten path, get off the beaten path and get up here and do this. And, I was just thinking, coming off this hill, we're looking across Santa Barbara to Hidden Valley, Campanile Hill, the Mesa, and you could see our microclimates. Like, we're roasting right now, 82 degrees, and right over there, we could see the fog on the Mesa and the haze. So it's probably 10 degrees cooler right over there in the same town, which is hard for people to wrap their minds around.
I wonder, that one would be a great property for a pool. I wonder if there's area for it, or...
Oh yeah, that whole huge grass area.
Yeah,
might have been
pool that.
Pretty sweet, because that'd be right in the middle of the guest house.
Totally.
And the main house.
Yep. Great sun tanning location. Being that high in the foothills, you're going to get a lot of sunshine.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's a good tour.
Yeah, a little bit everything day.
I think we had a nice little selection, a variety of neighborhoods, a variety of homes. And if it's your first time and you made it through the channel, give us a subscription here. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and stay tuned for more videos, because we're putting these out once a week for you guys to enjoy. Come along, hop in the car with us, go on Broker Caravan Tour. We're going to make you experts of the Santa Barbara real estate market. Right, Avi?
That's right. And I think a cool, unique thing about our team is just this month, we've sold everything from a mobile home, very starter, entry-level price in Carpinteria, to an amazing estate in Montecito. There's really nothing that's too big or too small. What if it's in our location that we specialize in, which is really Goleta to Carpinteria and a little bit beyond, we can help you out. And don't just think that because we're only seeing $7 million, unique bungalow retreats, that we can't help you with an entry-level condo or something like that. Reach out to us if you have questions, and we'll just do our best to help you out, because we love helping people find a place to call home in SB.
That's right. All types of properties, all types of individuals seeking to either sell their property here, who already live here, or looking to get into this wonderful community. We'll help make your dreams a reality, guide you through the process. with lots of compassion and care, because that's how we roll. You know, this is the way the Santa Barbara Group is. We love the people we work with, we love the community we work in, and we love what we do.
That's fire. That's so on. I agree. I mean, I think that's what separates us from a lot of different teams, is we just love this community and we love what we do. And I feel like people can feel that in the way that we work and the way that we even make videos.
That's right. So thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. Reach out if you want to get in touch, talk about your situation. We love hearing from you and we love engaging with your comments on this. So don't hesitate to send us a text, give us a call, or get in the comments there and let us know what you think.
That's it for me. We'll see you on the next week's video.
That's right. Peace out, everyone.
See ya.